Hi, this is Damien from AtHope, and I am an Axiological Atheist. And I would like to address something that I think would help everyone understand stuff better, both from how I investigate ideas and also how to investigate your own, as well as to understand what is being offered and how to evaluate information. So I wanted to talk on a couple little things that I focus on as a rationalist, and that is validity, reliability, and soundness. And I want to go ahead and explain these because they're not always understood by people. At least let me explain it in my context. So when I talk about validity, I'm talking about, in a sense, is like if you had a dartboard and you were throwing darts at the dartboard, it's accuracy that I can claim of my, say, ability. Say I have I tell you I'm a master at throwing darts. Well, you would be able to judge the validity of that statement by me standing and showing you while I do darts that I can, hit the dartboard in a kind of an accurate way. So when a claim is offered, then to me the first thing I want to know is it even accurate? Or do they have the means to profess accuracy? Because sometimes I'll say, like, I'm the greatest person. Well, how would you decide that? So then you have to slow down, and then first we have to decide what good is to understand if I, either max, out at that quality, or if I'm deficient in that quality of what would be goodness in a sense. And so that would be relating to the thing of when it comes to the validity. So the validity, like I said, is its accuracy. And now this is also a problem because in philosophy, especially Christian philosophers or apologetics, probably of any religion in general, they try to use that word validity to me in a disingenuous way. What they'll say is, well, my logical syllogism is valid. Well, they mean it in a different way than you're probably, or I would as a rationalist, ever say I know something with accuracy when I'm relating to validity. Because what they really mean is it's following a logical structure, not that it's true, not that its claims could be true, not that its claims are likely to be true, but simply that they follow a structure that is part of a logical syllogism. I don't think that way. I don't really use that kind of thing. I see it as that what you're offering contains in it, the truth claim itself, a burden of proof. And so it is upon you to validate its accuracy. And that's what I'm asking. So a lot of times when I'm asking someone to give me the qualities of their claim, what I am really trying to assess is its accuracy. If they say, I know God, well, I don't assume to know what they mean by that. I ask them how that relates to accuracy. So I want to know, what is a God? Because how can I know if they found a God if they first can't tell me what it is we're looking for? So this is an important thing. And this also relates to me to the part of ontology. I want to know the actual substance, the thingness of this thing you're talking about. If I were to tell someone, I love them, how would you know that that's a valid statement relating to my internal ideas? One way would be my external behavior. And so if my external behavior is like stab and murder the person that I'm supposedly saying I love, that would not be an example of valid claim for love. But if I am always kind and thoughtful and generous and compassionate, it would be much more of a validity situation of accuracy to my claim. So it would be a correct ontology to the claim. If I say that I'm good or I love, and I actually am good and I actually love by attributes that can be discernible by others. And so then the next thing to me, so let's just say that's established. Somebody does one act that's loving. Does that make them a loving person? Is it only one act in your whole life and you're good? I'm set now. I did it. I did love once. I'm all good. No, we demand a thing called repeatability, right? Because that's when you really know, in a sense, the rubber meets the road. In other words, even in a sense, a completely evil person may in their life, at one time or another, for whatever reason or another, do something good. So, but can they do it repeatedly? Can they do it not just with accuracy? In other words, like I can stand up to the dartboard and say I'm good at darts, right? And you watch one game and I shoot it and it's or whatever, I don't know what the darts is called, but anyways, but you know, I could have a game of darts and in a sense every single time hit the bullseye. And you think, wow, greatest dart person in the world. But maybe that's a fluke. How would you know that other than by repeatability? Now, if every time I go up and I have super high, you know, accuracy, well, now I've not just shown you accuracy, I've also demonstrated repeatability. But that, to me, doesn't always mean it's going to be the same thing in the future. And this is where I think is another problem. People overemphasize ideas. In other words, they'll say, a generalization, this is true. Well, is it true for all people, throughout all times, and all ways? That often we like to overgeneralize, and I consider this lazy thinking. It's not that there's not generalizations that don't, because I heard someone before try to say that all generalizations are wrong, and that too is a generalization. But it's actually inaccurate to never use a generalization, because sometimes things are grouped. Because in a sense, as a thinking strategy, grouping things together is like a shortcut, a way that we can see multiple things or the big picture in a sense. Because even like science, so science to me is a process of not just looking at the details, but stepping back and seeing how they relate, looking at the details and seeing how they relate. I try to do the same thing in a sense in thinking. I want to look at the details. I mean, I want to get down so you prove every period. Or as the Bible would say, every jot and every tittle. But to me, it's also the stepping back and saying, okay, now how do all these details relate? Because it's actually in that we can start to assess its real accuracy. It's in that stepping back and coming forward to the details that allows us to get a better understanding of its actual repeatability. Because some things look like they're being repeated with accuracy. But then when we get closer, we realize, maybe not. Because this has to do with, to me, what a lot of religious people like to use, which is equivocation. Saying one word, meaning something else. Like they'll say, well, you have faith and I have faith. You have faith in science, I have faith in religion. Well, let's just assume I had faith in science. Ridiculous, but notion, because faith is the absence of evidence with still containing a strong belief. It's not reasonable. But let's just assume that I had what they think they have. I have some what they call faith in science, right? So let's say, is science accurate? In other words, is it accurate to the claims it tries to make? Yeah, that's one of science's goals, is to try to be accurate to what it states. And to have reason and evidence that is valid, that can match that. This is not something that religion, they just make bold assertions, wild claims, empty, beliefs from nothing into nothing, going nowhere. Science demands that it has some sort of an attachment and accuracy to what it's relating to. Thus, it has validity. And it also has a repeatability, because science, in other words, you do one science thing in science and you say you prove, that human hair, can cure cancer. Well, one person making that claim, or one person even finding something that looks like that on one test, doesn't mean that's actually what you're finding. Maybe the person had dyed their hair, and what you're actually seeing is that some chemical in the hair dye can actually, say cure cancer. And not the hair itself, but if you didn't look at the detail, you would say, hair does it. You would not see that, well, actually, is it hair itself, or is it something else going on? And it's that repeatability and it's that desire for accuracy and the validity that helps you to start to claim, I know this. It helps you start to have the soundness of saying, this is true. And that gets me to soundness. Soundness, to me, is, in a sense, the conclusion of truth. And it's also saying that what is being said is sound, that it has the needed qualities, the depth, the substance of the proper, established or justified reliability, thus repeatability, or validity, thus accuracy. And so soundness relates to the amount of both of these others in the order that I explained them. And this adds to the appropriate level of truth confirmation in what is being assessed, what is being reasoned, what is being claimed. And so I thank you. I hope that you enjoyed it. I just wanted to give you a little fast run through of my ideas on these things. I hope it helped, and have a great day.